Tricky Nicky, what's going on? Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Waiting on my co-host, but we gonna get it started anyway. And Tricky Nicky, you want to get in here? I'm try to get you the link up for sure. Just bear with me. Give me a second. Boom, boom. 3 in a row. We going for 4 tonight. Let's see if we could get it. Chicago Bulls, 7:30. This is on at MSG. No national televised game today. Oh man, what's going on? Tricky Nicky. All right, I'm putting a link right now. Bam. Marvin, what's going on? Salute. Appreciate you joining me. What you guys think? Tricky Nicky's Marvin. We gonna win tonight? We gonna get this win tonight? I think we are. I think we are. Excuse my birds. Darren Wayne, salute. Appreciate you joining me. Just bear with me as I get my my things in order. But I want to know from you guys. We win tonight's game. Let me get this up. Search. There we go. Tricky Nicky in the building. I can't hear you yet. You might. There you go.
Yeah, sorry. I have my kids with me, so what I'm gonna do is I'm always gonna mute myself. That way, there's no background noise.
No doubt. No doubt.
Salute, Tony Crow. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man. First time on the show. Appreciate you joining.
No, I've been on your show before.
In the chat. I mean, in the visual.
Yeah, on the panel. I've been on it.
Oh, excuse me then.
Maybe it was my avatar that was on it, but I've been on your show. Maybe you never see me in person.
Who we got here? I got my man Marvin in the building. What's going on, Marvin?
Salute, guys. What's going on?
Salute.
What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate you joining me. Yo, Black is time. Got the Queen coming soon.
Yo, remember me saying that? I actually
said
that on your show.
I do.
Yo, Black, it's time.
I do.
And you know what? It is time. It's time for a big change in America. We all need that.
That's a fact.
You know.
What's going on, Tricky?
Salute.
Marvin, where you from, bro?
I'm from Chicago.
Okay. That is correct. The Chicago Bulls fan.
Hey, and I'm from like last night's game against the Pistons. I'm from Michigan, so
really,
that was a hell of a game. Yeah. I'm like an hour north of Detroit, so that was one heck of a game last night, and it was good to see.
Salute, Queen. Salute, Queen.
Oh, I didn't even know I was in. I was about to put something in my mouth.
Oh, darling, you gorgeous. Don't worry about it. You gorgeous. Don't worry. You stay ready to keep them getting ready.
I appreciate it. How's everybody?
Just fine.
Doing good, Queen. Salute, Steph.
Salute. Appreciate you guys.
I am Gerald. What's going on, brother? Salute. Appreciate you joining us.
Definitely.
I mean, all right, we can get right into it. You know, it's not gonna be a long one. We got Queens Court at 6:30,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking forward to that. Thank you guys for joining. We're just gonna go through a couple questions, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, my cousin in the building, Warren. Appreciate you, bro. Salute, salute. Um, we win tonight or not? 4 in a row.
Wow. Hey, I'm last. You know that, Tony.
Hey, I'll start it off. I'll be honest. If DeRozan goes off for 30, 35 points, we lose this game. But that's on Randall. Randall has to play well tonight. And what I don't want to see is that Randall is in the game, the ball movement not
So
like it's not flowing. I want when we already know we've seen glimpses of it, like with these young guys, like the ball movement, like it's there, like 19 assists. I think we had 19 or 21 assists, something like that in a half, like just a couple games back
Yeah.
without
30 for the
Randall.
game.
Like, so if Randall's playing tonight and we can't pass the ball, we can't get open shots, we're not making that extra pass, and it stalls, like you said, Tony Crow, the Bulls are gonna win. But if Randall can find a way to play a different style of game where he needs to basically learn, hey, I can play off ball too. And I would accept that from him, even with his contract. But he's got to learn that first.
I don't think he has to learn it. I think he knows how to do it. I think it has to be a focus from Tibbs. Do me a favor, just mute yourself. Because yeah, thank you. The TV's going off. I don't want to get flagged at any point. But I definitely think he knows how to play off ball because that was what he had to do the majority of his career. I think Sim has pointed it out. First year he wasn't forced to be the go-to, or he wasn't the go-to guy in the beginning of the year.
Right.
He had to become that at the end of the year. So last year was really his first year in that role full time. And this year it's been a big adjustment. But Queen, you think we go for 4 tonight?
I think so. And basically because where our momentum is carrying us one way, and I think their momentum is carrying them another way. Now, that being said, they're coming in somewhat desperate, right? They're not that far out of the play-in, as Sim pointed out to us. So they're going to be super motivated. They won their last game. They're going to be super motivated to win again. But this team, despite being out of the playoffs for the most part, they're out. They're still playing hard. They're still showing up. They're still trying to execute the game plan, and they have been executing. Um, Listen, there's a difference between how it looks when the ball moves around and results. you know, so I mean, with that same ball movement, we were down 17 and in that game, and we had to come back. And what got us back in the game was a stoppage of ball movement, which
ISO
was
ball.
IQ going ISO to get the points that he got to bring us back. So I think there's a time for both. There's a time for both. I think what I don't like is when Randall, if you're gonna hold it a little bit and make a decision. He just stops and it's just too much. It's too much dribbling. It's too much trying to decide. It's too much. But RJ does that sometimes. Not as much as Randall, and IQ does that. So all three of them guys have to just keep it in their head. I'm gonna shoot it or I'm gonna pass it. I'm not gonna be holding on to it.
I agree 100%. Before I get to Marv, um, I agree 100%. I think
That's
IQ probably.
Marvin from Chicago.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Oh
is.
man, Marvin, we gotta put our names up there. All right, all right.
How you
Oh,
doing? Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
I think IQ does it a little bit more than RJ.
Yes.
Obviously, Randall does it the most. But I think it all boils down to that point I was making a few streams ago, where especially with Randall and RJ, they still have to figure that out as far as when is it time for me to take over? When is it
Right.
time for me to kind of play that hero ball? And then when is it best for the team aspect to kind of take over? And also, between the three of them at this particular moment,
Hmm.
when is it time for me to give that responsibility to Randall to give it to RJ to give it to IQ? Like that's a learning process that I think takes more than a season in general, especially when you're still kind of figuring out that role individually. You think about Miami, right? When LeBron and D Wade and Bosh teamed up, it took them a full year to kind of figure that out. And these are superstars. These are A1, top 5, top
Right.
3 at their position in the NBA.
Right.
So imagine some I'm gonna say younger guys, but maybe not in age, but just in experience in that role. It's gonna take them maybe 2 years to figure it out. Maybe longer. What'd you
Quick,
want to
quick,
say?
quick before I get to Marvin, just to piggyback off of what you're saying. The thing with Randall is he can be off for the game and he's still stopping the ball and going one on one as if he shot his last 10 shots. That's the problem I have. There
Hmm.
is a time when you do have to go a little ISO to get you back into the
Hmm.
game or what have you. But if you're not hot, you can't be going ISO like you are hot. You the one that really needs to be moving it because you're not playing well as it is. And he
And
does that a
and
lot.
that's a fine line, stuff. Like
It is.
when you draw that line, like because there's a saying like shooters shoot. You might miss 8 in a row, but you might hit your next three. It might be that key. But
Right.
Randall is notoriously known not as an efficient shooter. So
Right.
I 100% agree with you on that. Like
Right.
like he sometimes he thinks he's still gotta like he's gotta be the guy that's gonna win the game for the team, and there's other guys on this team that are capable of helping him out and doing it,
No
and he's
doubt
got to
about it.
let some of that go.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
I
I
I
totally agree.
al- I also feel like it's a bit overstated. I think the field goal percentage, it's been pointed out. Shout out to Sim. This is an outlier. This is the worst he shot in his career as far as field goal percentage. 3-point percentage, that's another story. But as just field goal percentage, 41% all time low for him. I think he's relatively in the high 40s. He's reached the 50s. You know what I mean? So I don't think the percentage is a long going issue. I think that's something that will be fixed. The other thing with Randall is he only takes about 17 shots a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's relatively low for a number one option. Even
Yeah.
last year, I think he was around that number, and I think RJ was around 15. So I think it can work itself out. It's just a learning curve. But Marvin, give me your take on the game tonight, and then also what we were just talking about.
Well, I don't know if you remember, Tony. I was on a panel with you guys the other day, and I stated that the Knicks were actually playing pretty well right now, and the Bulls were kind of in a funk.
Yeah. I
And here
remember.
recently we have been in that funk. But I also stated that I felt like the Bulls were one road win away from actually changing their outlook on the season. And that night they were playing Cleveland. And that night they beat Cleveland on the road. Now that's not to say that I look at this game much different because we've always had problems with New York. Now, oddly enough, the Bulls have problems with top-notch point guards. First game you guys beat us, and you probably don't remember this. Kemba Walker was the reason you guys beat us. The second game, Randall scored 34, and he always gives us problems. Actually, in the first game, he had 16 rebounds. He didn't score very well. He didn't shoot very well, but he dominates us on the boards. But you guys had problems with our big three. I think keys to the game is Vooch and Kobe White.
Mm.
Kobe White has
Mm.
always been a Nick killer, and he is struggling at this present time, guys. He really is. Now, I don't know if this is a get right game for him or not, but if he struggles, we do not win. And this is my team I'm talking about, guys. And I'm not just saying this because I'm on your show, Tony. I mean this from my heart. Just the other day, uh, 2 games ago, I was in a chat, and a lot of the guys were mad at me because I told them that we were not going to beat the Pelicans, and they didn't believe it. And later on that night, we lost. And they asked me how did I know? Well, listen, when a team starts struggling on the road and you got pressure on your back also, it's easy to slip up. And see, the Bulls are subject to giving up runs. And for some reason, Billy Donovan doesn't make the right coaching decisions to stop these runs. If it ain't, I don't know if you guys ever knew this, but in 2 years, Billy Donovan has not got a technical for his team. And I have always stated that, feeling like he just
That
don't
that
stand up and he don't
not to
stand up
interrupt
enough
you,
for them.
not to interrupt you, but yeah, that's sad. That's showing me he's not technically fighting
He's
for
not
his
standing up
players.
for the club, man. And don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, I'm not stating that Billy Donovan is not a good coach. He's a terrific coach. But some things are to be done to show how much you care about your players. I bring up the issue when Caruso got hurt. Billy didn't get off the bench. He stood up, but he didn't come out on the floor. I'm not saying it, and I know it's not Billy. I know it's not his style.
and Grayson
But
Allen, that
sometimes
was a
you,
dirty play.
yeah,
That was a
yeah,
Okay.
and
dirty play,
sometimes,
and for him to not,
sometimes,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, sometimes you just have to do those small things. I was in the chat last night, and I brought up these things that I'm saying now, and it enlightened a lot of the Bulls fans, and they were like, "Man, I hadn't thought of that." But as far as the game itself, the Bulls, I want to revert back to what Steph said. The Bulls are scrambling for their lives. Actually, that last game we just won against Cleveland was truly a must win for us. One more loss like that would have just probably just ruined the whole season. So this is another tough road game, but I want you guys to know this: the Bulls know that this team know you guys are playing well, and they know you got some young talent on the floor that really want to show how good they are. So I think this is going to be a great game. Now, as far as the matchups are concerned, DeRozan's a problem, Randall's a problem, Levine's a problem, RJ's a problem. The key components to this is Vooch and Kobe White. And I say Vooch for the starting lineup, and then I match Kobe White to you guys bench, and I believe the bench pairs out. But Vooch is a wild card, and this depends on both ways. If it's some kind of way you guys can get Vooch in foul trouble, we in trouble. If we can get Robinson in trouble, you guys are in trouble. So I believe it's going to come down to the coaches who coaches the best tonight, because these teams are very evenly matched. So I'm not going to say win or lose because I want my boys to win, but I'm so afraid of this game. I'm shaking in my boots over here, guys, because this now one thing that is in our favor is that Toronto is playing Boston tonight, which gives us a little wiggle room because Toronto's 1 game behind us. Now I'm not saying Boston's going to definitely win that game, but guys, Boston is playing some damn good ball right now. And if Toronto loses, it will take a little pressure off of us. But we're not playing for anybody else. We're playing to win our game. So I say, I mean, this one here is so close, guys. I'm serious, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure once we get the eye test of it, we all will agree this is going to be a great game, testy game. And then, I did want to mention this too. Rose plays very well against us, but he's not here now. I don't know if you can look back on the stats when he played against us, guys. He had 2 good games against us. And he always, since he's been gone, he always plays well against us. So I don't know if that's a disadvantage because I don't know what Quickly's playing better now. So it
Yeah.
could easily go that way. So It's a toss up for me, guys. I don't want to say yay or nay. I mean, I know you guys. I know you guys. In the whole key, I hear some of the fans in New York saying, "Well, man, I don't know if we should try to win." Well, that's not happening with Tibbs. He's gonna play to win the
Right.
game. And
Right.
us as Bull fans and knowledgeable Bull fans know that. And it's not him having a grudge against Chicago. It's not him having a grudge against any team. He's gonna play to
Mhm.
win every game. So I just say um, the matchups really pan out almost even across. The wild card to me is Vooch and foul trouble. So we'll see how it pans out. And if foul trouble comes into play either side, I think the guys who stay out of foul trouble win, and the guys who get in foul trouble fall short.
Kobe
Great
White
point.
is on the bench. He's coming off the
Yeah, he's
bench and
got.
he's playing well.
Yeah, no, he's not playing well. He's
Not,
in a big slump. He's in a
not
huge
playing
slump.
well,
He's been
but he plays well against us.
no, he's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
because I thought
I
about
heard that. I hear that all. I hear that all the time about how Kobe is a Nick killer. I was like, well, he needs to be somebody's killer because he ain't killing nothing right now. He ain't did nothing. He ain't
Hey,
did nothing, guys, in about 6 straight games.
Tricky. I'm gonna get right to you, and then I'm gonna get to Sim. But Marv, I got one more question for you.
Hmm.
When I said you stole my point, or you was reading my notes, Queen, earlier when we was talking about that RJ matchup, you had pointed out that this is a different RJ now, right? So
Yes.
the two games against the Bulls, RJ hadn't hit his stride yet.
Hmm.
How do you think that
I know
factors
it.
into his matchup with Levine potentially? And you guys dealing with RJ where he is today in the season
Well,
opposed to where he was earlier.
I was listening to you guys' show early. I was listening to you, Sam, just a second ago. And a lot of you guys' takes were thinking that Caruso was going to be on Randall. Well, I disagree. He's going to be on RJ. To
Mm.
me,
Okay.
and the reason I say this is this, guys. The engine is running through the Knicks with RJ right now, and Billy Donovan knows that. And it's almost the point in case of him saying, if you think about it, you're not going to stop Randall. So it's almost one of them. Okay, let him go. But we have to stop somebody. And if you can disrupt RJ, I think it disrupts the offense. And it's more of a effect on New York than it would be on Randall. Meaning this, Randall sometimes is a disruption in itself. Not to say he's. I mean, really, I'm not being funny. It's the truth.
Fair enough. It's fair,
RJ is
man.
RJ is more under control. Even though he's erratic at times, he's not. He's more under control, and he's more of the engine to the Knicks. He really is. So, and in a sense, like I just brought up Rose, and that's what he is to you guys. He really stabilizes the system. And Caruso is a ravaging defender, pesky. And if you can get in RJ's, I mean, like I said, I was watching the show earlier just a second ago, and nobody put Caruso on RJ. Well, I, mind me this, guys. If I'm thinking correctly, watch Billy. Now he might not play him on him all the time, but he's going to be on RJ more than not. And another small wild card on this is um, Derek Jones Jr. Nobody brought him up. Well, he comes off our bench, and
Hmm.
he's almost a perfect matchup against RJ also. So it's a couple of matchups on there. And like I say, really to me, the true wild card matchup is Vooch. Vooch can be solid, but then he can really make some bonehead plays at times too. But if he stretched the floor and bring Robertson out, then that makes a difference on this game also. But to me, guys, I mean this from my heart. I really see the Knicks in a state right now where they are, as a lot of people don't realize, they're in a rebuild, but their young guys are playing so well right now that you can. And I heard you guys thinking about trying to win out. I don't see it. If you beat us tonight, I don't believe you to lose another game. I really don't. I think you guys will win out because this can be a great motivating game for the Knicks. Beat Miami and then coming behind it and beat Chicago. I think it'll mean a lot to these guys, and it's very easily can be done. So, but that RJ matchup, I, I I don't think we can stop him, but to slow him down a little bit, I think would be the key to try to hold a game, close, and then trying to go through Vooch to try to get over the hump with Chicago is the way I feel they should try to win the game.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I don't know if Tricky Nicky's there, but Sim.
I'm here.
Okay, you had your hand up. You wanted to say something?
No, I was just saluting Sim. And if I'm ever going to be on a show with Sim, I have to defer it and pass to the man, the legend, Sim.
Yeah, salute, Sam.
Appreciate you, Tricky, man. It's glad to see you. I always want to say in person the first time I see somebody on here, but glad to see you virtually in person.
Yes.
I mean? Yeah, nice to see you and meet you, man.
Hey, Sam.
Yes,
your
sir.
Your show. What I started off. I'll just give you a little history real quick. It'll take me 30 seconds. I started off watching Ron, the Man show. That's where I started from. Like, I was a Knicks fan all my life, but, I was one of those guys that, even in my old age, I never knew this stuff existed. And I think a lot of people need to be aware of that. Like, I never even realized there was platforms out there where you could get on and just talk about New York Knicks. And so when I found him, I became a huge fan. And then once I found him and he left to do his ministry work and all that, and I love that guy, Ron Cleveland, everybody. But
yeah.
Then I found all these other shows, and I found your show, Sam, Nothing But Knicks, and I think it's my favorite. I'm subscribed to Knicks Fan TV, but I'm going to be honest. I think your show is my favorite.
I appreciate you. Yeah, Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And before you go on, Sims, I wanted to say this too. Did you know that you were the first show that I ever talked to in New York, Sims? You were the first guy to accept me. Yeah. I don't know if you remember. Man, you had a good talk too. And I mean the comfort level that you gave me. Yeah, the comfort level that you gave me was more than anything. Now I've been on shows in Philly and Carolina, but I've always heard that it's hard to get in on the Knicks shows. I mean on the New York shows. But I've always had a positive perspective from every side. I'm not a person who quits on toot my horn. I'm not. And I believe that I'm pretty knowledgeable about the game. But I love the passion of the Knicks fans and the way that Sims just break it down into detail, serious detail. Because listen, he don't shade the colors. I mean, if they playing bad, he let them know. He just tells the truth, and that's what's great about him. And I really appreciate that, Sim.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try not to let my if I like a player judge, cloud my judgment. You know what I'm saying? I try not to. It can be hard sometimes.
Especially if it's on your own team, especially if it's a player on your own team. Yeah, I know it.
Right. Yeah.
So, Sim, I know we covered it on your show, but do the Knicks win tonight?
I think the Knicks win. Go ahead. My bad.
And I want you to respond to Marvin's comment about Caruso, because I also did not think of that. And I think that's an interesting matchup.
Yeah. I do think the Knicks win tonight. I think that they are one of the things that I think is also going on inside the Knicks, given the fact that they've had such a bad season, is they want to prove to people, I think, that they are still the team that should have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or that we had some rough patches and we didn't play well, but we're still that team. I think they want to prove that to people. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that they want to prove it to people. So I think they come away with a win tonight. It's been close games throughout the series. I always thought that the Bulls were a team, even, and no disrespect to the Bulls at all, because I thought they were, a good basketball team. Even with the Knicks getting into the playoffs, and I said, man, if the Knicks get in the playoffs, and if they're, down one of the, 6th seed or something like that, I wouldn't mind them playing the Bulls, because I felt like we just matched up well. and I knew it would still be a difficult matchup.
Yeah.
Felt
Great
like
matchup.
so I think the Knicks get the win tonight. As far as Caruso playing on RJ Barrett, I think it could definitely happen. You know what I'm saying? Caruso is one of those guys that I think, because he's such a scrappy defender, he can play against a, a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? He can defend a point guard, he can defend depending on who that four is and how they play basketball. You know what I mean? So you can use him all over the court. And he's one of those glue guys out there that, just can get a lot of things done for you. You know what I mean? And, sometimes players like that go overlooked. But so, yeah, I can definitely see that happening, especially, if you're going to have DeMar DeRozan matched up against Julius Randle, both of those guys. So one thing that's really, really valid about what he's saying, if you have DeMar DeRozan and Julius Randle together, neither one of those guys want to get early fouls. So they probably both just say, I'm going to let you go ahead and get yours into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So neither one of them want to get fouls. And then, to keep Zach LaVine maybe out of foul trouble, you have him on Evan Fournier, right? Because Evan Fournier is not going to do a lot of shot creation. It's going to be more chasing him around the court. And then you can have Caruso on RJ. So I could see that happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to say too, Sims. I'm sorry. I wanted to say also, Sims. Now, mind you, when I say this, I do know that Zach's knee is not really 100%. And the matchup with Fournier is risky because Fournier runs and moves a lot. But if you look at Zach's game, that's his offensive movement also. He's off of picks. He's running. He's ripping. And, he's driving to the hoop. In the last couple of games, I don't know if you guys noticed or if you've been watching him, Zach is actually playing better than DeMar. I didn't know if you guys knew this.
I was told
Zach seems to me that the urgency of what was going on with the Bulls has hit him more than DeMar. DeMar is that fourth quarter guy, and he really does cruise till the fourth. Now, watch this game today, guys. Now, watch his effort as far as offensive until the fourth quarter.
Hey,
you might seem real docile, but then you guys.
Did Chicago?
I'm sorry?
Did Chicago extend Zach yet? I don't think they did, right?
No.
So I think you're seeing that urgency now.
But it's on the table.
Zach was unhappy, like at the beginning of the season, if I remember correctly. And for him to be so unhappy, saying this year will determine everything for me, it makes me wonder, though, like, does he feel a little bit shaded or jaded because DeMar was doing it all?
Yeah. Well, let me say this, Tricky. I have actually did a show, guy. It's called The Windy City Breeze in Chicago. And I brought that very issue up, but I actually brought this up. Actually, two games before Zach went out with this knee injury, it was the Portland game the Bulls played. I came on one of the shows and I noted to everybody that something was wrong with Zach's knee. Well, I blew my knee out a long time ago. I knew something was wrong with Zach. I mean, you know your players. Just like you guys know you know your players. And Zach's lift was not the same. And I knew it. Well, the following game, it came out that he had a problem with his knee. And when I brought that up, I also brought up the matter of how stressful can that be in a max contract year that you have knee problems? And how much would it weigh on him? But I honestly believe then the Bulls organization sat him down and let him know, we're going to take care of you. And I believe they are. I mean, he deserves it, guys. When you put your all in for the years he have, when we wasn't zero, then somebody should at least be loyal to you. And I think the Bulls will be. But back to Zach. He is actually playing with more urgency right now, guys. And you'll see it tonight. He's going to the hoop more than ever this year. Usually he's a jump shooter coming off screens. Well, he's going to the hoop now a lot. And then fourth quarter, he defers to DeMar. So.
And some of that he could have just picked up. It could be a natural progressive for him. You know.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
anything
when
you
he's
want to add?
aggressive, when
Go ahead, Marvin.
I'm sorry. No, I was saying when Zach is aggressive, guys, he is real aggressive. I don't know if you've seen him because the other games, I don't know. I think one of the games against you guys earlier this season, he was very aggressive. But he sometimes he's coming off screens all game long. But when he's aggressive, he's to the glass every other time he gets the ball in his hands, which causes anybody that's constantly going downhill causes problem on any defense. And but the Bulls try to make an effort against you guys because of Mitchell Robinson, to not quite do that because Mitch is a great rim protector, and sometimes good rim protectors is just as good as a point guard starting a fast break. Because if he gets that block and you guys get out on a break, well, the defense doesn't get a chance to get set, and those are easy baskets. So I don't know if the same philosophy would be in effect tonight against uh, the Knicks because of Mitchell Robinson. Now, that's a question I got for you guys. How is Mitchell Robinson 100%, or is he kind of nicked up?
I mean, with a back injury or back spasms, I don't know if it's ever 100% cleared up, but I believe he started. He was back in the starting lineup last game,
Yeah,
right?
with
He
with
started last.
regular minute, with regular minutes, his regular time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think he played his regular time. Jericho Sims is getting more and more time now, though.
Yeah,
yeah, and I didn't even
absolutely.
bring up Obi. Hey man, I love the progression of Obi. Now, I have a question for you, Sims. I don't know if we asked this. Do you think that Tibbs is going to give Obi more time?
I think at this point he does.
Yeah, I think so. And we seen even in the last game, normally Julius Randle would come out with, he played the entire first quarter, and then he come out at the top of the second quarter in the last game. And I don't know if it's because it was a back to back, the first end of a back to back, but in the last game against Detroit, Julius Randle came out with about 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and then Obi came in during
Wow.
that time. And Obi played till about 6 minutes left in the second quarter, and then Julius Randle came in. Almost the same thing in the third. I think in the third quarter, Julius Randle didn't go out until about 2 minutes left, or a minute and 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and then Obi came in and played till about 6 minutes left in the fourth. So
Yeah.
I think he is. I think he is. Obviously, I still think he trusts Randle a lot more than he trusts Obi
Yeah.
defensively for the most part. You know what I mean? And rebounding the basketball, but yeah, I think he's giving Obi some more time. And on a night like tonight, when Vucevic goes out, the Bulls will be, for the most part, kind of small.
Yes.
In height at least, right? So here's a chance where you can play Obi and Randall at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I anticipate some small ball tonight.
And how often do they
Especially
do that?
not often at all. Not often. Not as much as Knicks fans overall, I think, would like. It's been called for throughout the season. So I think the Knicks fans have wanted to see it, if for no other reason than for Obi to get more time. if that was the
Yeah.
only reason, you know what I mean, that could have been. But even when you spoke about the mismatch or the importance of the matchup between Mitchell Robinson and Vucevic, I think
Hmm.
that is one thing that could offset that. I think we
Yeah.
have the ability to play small, whether
Yeah.
it's Randall guarding Vucevic and then moving people up us around, or excuse me, and or seeing Randall and Obi. I think we have that ability, and this might be a team that we could benefit in playing
Yeah.
small ball against.
Situational substitution, because I know you don't get a chance to run into a team kind of like ours, but it's almost a great time to try that because Billy plays a lot of small ball also. He really does.
Mm.
And with Tristan Thompson being on the team, now he's more of a brute, but he's not very tall.
Hmm.
So they play a lot of. They use him on the second unit, and you know, I hadn't brought up Io. You know, this young kid is going to be decent, guys. This point guard we got, Io DeSumo, he's going to be good, man. He's going to be something special. I mean, anytime you get just thrust into the fire like he has, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But he's proven, at least defensively, that he can hold his own for a period of time. Now he just hit that rookie wall about maybe 5 or 6 games ago, and it showed. It showed something terrible because he was getting burnt up by top point guards. But he didn't hold his head down, guys. You know, and one thing I credit Billy on is Billy let him in. He let him play. He let him take it. You know, he just let him. You know, hey, okay, it's yours, guy. And then the next game he'll step up. You know, and I think that's a pretty good thing. In Billy.
But how do you guys? Because you know the Knicks, the Knicks are in search of a point guard.
Don't start. Don't start.
Listen,
Sam, don't you start. Don't you even start.
I already knew you was high on him, Marvin, because the last time I spoke to you when we was getting out of the chat, I said, wait, one more question. And I asked you about potentially trading Derrick Rose there. And the first thing you said was, yeah, we'll take Rose back. But you're not getting yo.
I remember you're not getting Io. Let me say this, guys. I want you guys to hear this, and I mean this. And you guys are basketball knowledges also. You know when you got something. You know when you got something, just like Grimes. You guys know when you got something.
IQ.
I mean, think of I say Grimes. You know when you got a little something creeping around. You know when you got it, guys. And when they're young like that, now, we are not the GMs, but I honestly believe the GM feels the same way as most of us knowledgeable fans. And Io, if you look at the make of him, now I'm going to say this to you, Sams. Yes, he would be perfect for the Knicks. Perfect for the Knicks. He is a prototypical New York Knicks point guard. I'm telling you guys. He's prototypical. He's actually 6'5" with about a 6'9" to 6'10" wingspan. And he's 20 years old.
So what is it?
And we got him.
That's funny, Tony.
Because look,
well, I tell you this, Tony. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. What it takes. First of all, it takes Lonzo Ball getting his knees together.
Right.
That's first. Then after that, it takes 1 year of solid Lonzo Ball being out of his mind. Because not this summer, but next summer, Io comes up for renewal. Because we got him in the second round. So he's got a 2-year deal. He's not under no rookie deal. So it's a good and bad thing. But when you see how well he plays, it's really a bad thing. Because it's gonna be a bunch of people hunting for him.
I'm keeping my
you can have Kobe. Hey, you can have Kobe.
That's like when people put this first round, second round thing into perspective, third round, whatever. I disagree with all of it because I watched in Detroit Chauncey Billups get traded so many times before he found his home in Detroit, become Mr. Big Shot. And he wasn't even a first or a second round pick, So I don't look at the picks. I look at the fit for the team and the fit for the player. It's the way you got to look at it.
It's a good point.
Yeah. I think Io defies what first and second rounders are. You get some players like that come in and they overachieve, and it bukes the system in a sense. And Io is a prime example of a player that was looked over, and then a diamond in the rough. That I'm serious, guys. His sprout, he hadn't even got close to as good as he can be, man. This kid is on ball defender elite, and he's a rookie. And he plays against all of the top guards every time we play. Now he gets beat. What I like about Billy Donovan, he lets him play, man.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of
Right.
Go
But
ahead.
see, that's why I asked the question because you already got Lonzo Ball. What are you gonna do? You got two guys that had eventually deserve to start. Lonzo Ball's on the books for a couple of years, right?
And you got the
4 years.
great Kobe White.
See, you not stop that, Tony. You gonna stop that. Well, you wouldn't believe how long we fight up there, man, over this Kobe White thing. Man, I don't know if you guys watched Kobe White in college. This dude was out of his mind, man. When he came to the pros, and I don't know what happened, guys. Now he has his days, like you say. A lot of people feel he plays well against the Knicks. I look at his stats. He really hadn't blew me out the water playing against the Knicks. Now he didn't have his games before now. I mean, but you can't have that inconsistency when you're a number 4 pick.
Right.
Because it's not like we didn't give him the tick. He's been playing, guys.
Yeah.
And he's just too inconsistent. It's almost like sometimes he's just out there. He turnovers. And then sometimes to me, Billy's not rough enough. I wish. I don't know if y'all like to make the switch from Tibbs. Y'all take Billy. We need some toughness over there in Chicago, man.
Yeah, but if you look at it, like he's a number 4 pick, right? But they signed DeRozan and Caruso. It's a lot like what happened to IQ, signing Kemba and Fournier. So it slows progression, but these are guys you can learn from, right?
Oh yeah,
and maybe Kobe White will get it, but maybe
This
I watched games where Kobe White hit 7 threes,
Kobe,
and I'm like,
listen,
wow.
I believe Kobe is due for a culture change. I think he needs a change of environment. I don't believe he's afraid of Chicago. The previous management really scarred him, guys. I mean, they were terrible. And Eversley and AK have tried to completely clean house. It's only 2 players from that previous management still left on the Bulls. And I mean, they really scarred him, man. They really did.
Yeah.
So,
and hey, I want you to understand something about me, Marvin. Like my Michigan Wolverines just got bounced by Villanova. That was a good game, but they got bounced. But I didn't miss an Elite 8 game. I won't. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch my March Madness.
yeah.
And then I gotta watch, like, even when the Knicks are out or the Pistons are out, I still gotta watch the playoffs. I gotta watch basketball, period. So to be like knowledgeable about other teams means you watch these guys, these players. Would you like them on your team? Would you not like them on your team? And I didn't watch Io yet. I haven't seen him. Maybe it's only because he's a rookie, but I haven't seen him, and I'm gonna pay attention today.
I tell you one person have, and that's Sims. I knew Sims was looking at him. I knew Sims seen him. I knew Sims seen him. I mean, because see, some people can see potential. Seriously. I knew Sims had been watching Io. I knew he had. But I do have a question.
Man,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I scour the league looking for bargains all over the league. And
that is the word right there, scour.
Yeah.
People who are going to potentially blow up. I do.
Yeah. And what you see in him, no, Sims?
I mean, I a lot of like what you said. He's a guy that can really play defense. And okay, so you have first, he's long, right? Because he's 6'4", 6'5", so he's playing that point guard spot. That's one of the reasons that Tom Thibodeau was playing Elfrid Payton last year. It's one of the reasons that he's playing Alec Burks now. He likes to have a longer guard at the defensive spot, because he feels like it helps defensively, right? So you got you have that, and he's a good defender. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the potential for him to be the kind of guard that can run your team.
Yeah, and he's not afraid.
And he's not afraid. You know what I mean? So he's a guy that I would trade for if they were willing to give it up. You know what I mean?
One Chicago kid for another.
I'm holding that. Sam,
boy,
I'm always gonna remember that.
Say, Tony, Tony, you know you are wrong, man. You are wrong, man. You come
Chicago's
up with some
home.
say, yeah, you're right. That's why we want to keep him home.
No, I'm
You're
talking.
right.
I'm talking about the MVP, the, the former
Oh no,
youngest
no, no.
MVP,
We,
the former youngest
well, you know,
MVP.
well, wait a minute now. Now I do have something to say. You guys got a guy named Luca that plays in the G League, don't you?
He
Big
Vildoza,
man.
retired, right?
yeah. Yes.
He's gone. Y'all let him go.
Who, Vildoza?
Luca Vildoza.
Oh,
Yeah,
Valdoza.
yeah. I think he's gone, right?
He's gone.
Wow. I mean, what happened with that, guys?
I mean,
I mean, what happened
he
with
never made his
Jeremy
way up.
Lin? I mean, it just happens.
I mean,
Let's
is
be
he still
real.
on another team in the G League? Sims, do you know?
I don't know if
I don't
anybody
think
picked
so.
him up.
I don't think anyone picked him up. I don't think so.
Can I say something though, real
Mm.
quick? Because honestly, it's a disgrace if I don't say it. Salute to Tony Crow and Knicks and Bruises. You guys in the chat, let's get those likes up. Hit that reminder bell. Subscribe to Tony Crow. He's always on Nothing But Knicks. Salute to Sim, Nothing But Knicks. Salute to the Queen's Court at Nothing But Knicks. Let's get those
Salute,
likes
salute.
up a little bit, guys. Come on, hit that reminder bell too.
I appreciate you, Tricky. And with that, Queens Court is about 9 minutes away. So we do some final words. Go across the board. Shout out to the chat as always. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and supporting as always. And then of course I'm gonna see y'all in about 8 minutes over at the Queens Court. Tricky Nicky, any last words?
I would just say if I could predict a scenario tonight for the Knicks to win, is that with Randall playing, he can't be ISO ball. We got to see these young guys. We got to move the ball, pass the ball. If we can get assists, make that extra pass, Knicks will win 121 to 111.
All right.
If DeRozan scores 30 to 35 points, like I said, we're gonna lose. That's my
All
point.
right. All right. We'll
All right.
review it later and see how close you were. Marvin, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Chicago fan giving a good perspective on these matchups, man. And you're always welcome to come back. Tricky
Hey,
Nicky, you too as well.
thank you, man. Thank you. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys. I think you do a great job, Tony and Sims. You know that. And hey, may the best team win tonight, guys. And Sims,
Mhm.
maybe next time I'm in Dallas, but maybe the next time I go home, if I run into IO, I'll let him know you're looking for him. Okay.
Yeah. Let him know. Give him my number. We can talk.
Yeah, just give him your number, huh? Just give him direct line, huh?
I'm
Direct
sorry,
line.
that
Hey,
was funny.
hey, you know what, Sims? I'm gonna tell you this. I got chills all over me. I don't think we're gonna keep him because if Alonzo breaks out and plays, I mean, we're just not gonna be able to. And I think you guys get a shot at it. Really.
Yeah. No, okay. All right. That sounds good. Shoot.
We'll throw you an asset back. Don't worry. You don't
Yeah.
gotta lose them for nothing.
Hey, Tony, I think we got some fourth round picks, right? We'll throw one of those your way and we'll take them.
We got a whole
Okay, now
bunch of,
you
bunch
can
of second round picks in 2023.
yeah. Now you can check with Sims on that and see what he's worth. Maybe that's for the next show.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you.
No
Sim,
problem, guys.
what you got, man? Closing the show out with you.
And I think that the Knicks are going to play well tonight. I think they're going to win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game, a fun game to watch. It's going to come down, like Marvin said, and I think we talked about it on the game preview. I think it does come down to Mitchell Robinson and Nikola Vucevic. I think that's really going to be a big key to this game. RJ Barrett and Zach LaVine, they should be able to put up the numbers, put up their numbers. Julius Randle and DeMar DeRozan should be able to put up their numbers. But that matchup right there, there's the potential for Vucevic to really dominate that matchup. and if he does, then the Knicks won't win.
All right. Even with a small ball adjustment.
I mean, if see, the thing is, if we go small ball and put Julius Randle on him, then I still think it leaves a mismatch somewhere because that means Obi Toppin's got to guard DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
a good point.
Tony, can I piggyback off of Sim here?
Yes, sir.
And I'm actually piggybacking like up of Steph. We need defensive rebounds too, not just offensive. Mitch has got to get on the defensive board, get that glass. Don't give up the offensive rebound.
I hear you.
Okay.
I still say pay that man. You know my slogan.
Oh yeah, before you guys go, are you guys
Yeah.
gonna sign Mitch? Are you guys gonna sign Mitchell Robinson?
I want to.
Because we'll say Sims, we'll take him.
Hey.
You'll take him for AO?
Yeah, Mitch for AO. That's what I was gonna say.
Wait a minute. Hello.
Good talking to you guys. Salute Tony Curl. Trick
No
out.
doubt,
Great
no
show,
doubt,
man. Great show, guys.
Appreciate you. Y'all already know your blackest time. Shout out to the chat. See y'all in Queens Court in about 4 minutes.
Yes, sir.